Yes or no question. You
Yes,
answer.
it is. Okay, wait.
Must answer.
Wait, Frank, listen, Frank. Yes or no? If some young girl in your family gets raped, should she graped? Should she give birth? Yes or no?
And I just said, didn't
No.
I?
Frank,
Answer the
What
question.
does an
Yes or
abolitionist
yes
no?
or no,
believe in?
Frank?
Wait, we love our.
What
I'll
does
just
an
press him on the
abolitionist
question. I'll just press him on
believe
it.
You are here to debate. That
Yes or no? Yes or no?
What is an
Frank, yes or
abolitionist?
no, dog? It's a yes or no question.
And I've already answered the question by my opening statement.
No,
I'm
you
an
didn't
no?
answer the question, dumb fuck.
So
You didn't
yes.
say
Wait,
no.
so Frank.
Yes or no?
So Frank, if a minor in your family gets graped, they should give birth. That's what you think. Correct? Is that correct?
How many times do I have to repeat my answer
So
before
that's
you
a
hear me?
yes or a no, dumb fuck. Do you not know what the fuck is speaking?
It's not a yes or no. You are seeking a
Yes, it
yes or no
fucking
because
is.
you want to play
What
a
do you mean I'm
gotcha.
seeking? It's
You're
a
not
yes
gonna play
or
a
no
gotcha
question.
with me.
Dog, Frank.
It's not a yes or no question.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
How the fuck are you gonna tell me the answer to my question that I asked you? What the fuck?
Well, because you don't even know the answer to your own question. Because
No,
Yes,
the answer is no. They should not
my
give
answer
birth.
to the question is a no. Your
Word.
answer to the question is a yes
Hold
or
on, hold
no.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay, we're gonna be done with the insults, Frank. I just want to ask you.
no, you're not.
So you're,
You got the two dumbest motherfuckers on
Yo,
the
Frank, shut up.
All right, everybody. Okay. We need to take a chill pill.
all right. I'm trying
Sit
to
here and mute me and then let them continue.
I just muted them. What are you talking about? I'm literally
Yeah,
trying
Samantha
to make
literally muted them. So
I don't know what you're
And they've
talking
been
about.
going
but I'm
on and
trying-
on for 10 minutes now.
Yeah. Okay. So I was eating. I'm sorry.
Not my fault. You won't answer a simple question.
Oh, hold on. I'm trying to make it better for you to have it absurd that you're acting like so high and mighty about being like okay with like making it comfortable so that we can like protect like children, but then you're an abolitionist, and an abolitionist under definition does not support abortion in any circumstance, which would include minors who were raped, because that's the only thing minors can do.
Right,
in
but
sexual
as far as you're going, that is a fringe argument. But yes, I will say that I do not believe that child should be unalived because it is not that child's fault that this happened. Therefore, yes. So what I'm going to do is put my niece through more trauma by taking a life that's inside of her womb.
Terrible take.
I'm protecting children. You're trying to create a victim that doesn't deserve to be. The victim is already there.
You're stumbling over yourself. You don't even believe you're
Wait, so Frank, giving birth isn't traumatic, correct? Giving birth
I'm
isn't
not talking to
traumatic.
these two. I'll talk
be
to
nice to
Samantha
him.
and I'll talk to Avery, but I won't talk to these two.
Oh, you just
Are you serious?
Listen,
Why
I'll be
not?
nice to you. I'll be nice to you, buddy. I won't yell at you. I won't.
I won't be
insult
nice to you. I don't want to talk to you.
Oh, you
these
don't wanna
two.
be
I'll
nice
talk
to me?
Samantha and I'll talk to Avery, but I won't.
Wait,
talk to
wait, Frank, why can't we talk? I've literally been trying to give you time to
I will
speak.
talk to Samantha and I will talk to Avery, but I will not talk to these two.
This guy's just trying to talk to the females, bro. They can't even allowed to talk to the females. Yo, Frank, you get no play or what, bro? Yo, look at
to be fair, this is probably why he doesn't want to talk to you.
no, because no. Okay, Frank, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be rude. I just wish that you can answer my question instead of trying to jump around it and whatnot.
I'm in the process of answering questions and you keep interrupting me. I will not talk to these two. I will talk to Avery and I will talk to Samantha. I will not talk to these two.
Okay, so I didn't interrupt you while you were answering the question. You just weren't answering the question.
Yeah, like also the hypothetical he was posing you with your niece, that's gonna be a yes or no answer. Just
Exactly.
Thank you,
Avery. Holy shit.
but
Can I
obviously the
answer the
answer
question,
is going
Avery?
to be
Did I not?
yes, but not yes or no, I guess. Like obviously your answer is going to
It's
be
not,
yes.
it's not a yes or no. It's a nuanced answer.
No, it's
That
not.
needs more- that
But like
needs
we
more
want a yes
depth
or no
to it.
answer. Bro.
Wait, okay, if you like disagree with abortion in any circumstance, isn't your answer obviously going to be yes, she should have to give birth?
Yes.
Winston,
With
how am I the
nuance.
worst?
And it's not nuanced.
Wait, Winston, what did
Because
Dakota
because
do?
the answer needs to go deeper
didn't
than
do
just
shit.
yes or no. Because you're taking away the form of the question. You're taking away the form of the answer. Yes, I am okay with this because I do not agree in making more victims when there's already victims.
That makes her a double victim.
Word. Wait, so Frank, you think it's more traumatic to get an abortion than it is for a young child to give birth?
Hello, is this thing on?
Wait, Avery, can you ask him that for me since he doesn't want to talk? Can
Wait, what did you ask?
Send it through the grapevine. Wait, so does Frank think it's more traumatic? It's more traumatic for a young girl to give birth than it is for her to get abortion?
Frank, are you willing to answer that, or do I need to reiterate it myself?
I won't answer any questions that come from
Grown man, by the way.
Oh my God. This is just like I'm not gonna lie,
but I
like
won't answer
the
questions.
insulting and shit. The insulting shit was jokes at first. Like it was like obviously it was jokes, but now you're just like actively fucking running away from every single question. You're only answering the questions that Avery and Samantha pose towards you, and that's just not productive at all. Like that doesn't make any fucking
I'm not
sense.
trying to be productive. I'm trying not to talk to you as I
Exactly,
have
I know.
Why
That's the point.
are
You are now
not
stepping on my rights as a human being to not wish to engage with you. You are now forcing me to engage with people I do not want you
You're
to.
forcing
Wait.
children to have birth, but what do you
Word. You think
I don't know.
it's not
I
a
don't-
child's right to not give birth, but it's your right to not talk to us?
Frank, I don't know. Frank, I don't know what you're not getting is that you were significantly advocating saying I wasn't protecting children by saying it's not practical or whatever. But when I said that we should shame child P3DOs because they are hurting children, and you said I want to protect children, and then you turned around and said that you were an abolitionist, saying that you would force children to gestate pregnancy from grape. So you're not
And
protecting them
what
from
is
the
what
action
is
that
what
was
is she
done.
what is she gestating in her tummy? What is she just gestating in her womb? What is that?
A fetus?
A fetus? The fuck? I don't know. What's that have to
Frank,
do with
did you not go to biology, buddy?
That would be a child. That would be a human
That's
child.
just a colloquial term, so I don't really care.
I don't care about the colloquial term that you're using. I don't give a fuck.
Speak, Samantha.
So
Hey,
can you
Frank.
actually answer my question as to why you're saying that you're protecting children, but because this victim already has a fetus in their stomach,
You
it's gonna be the lost cause?
you almost said it. You
Yeah,
almost said
because it's a
child.
colloquial. Yeah, because it's a colloquial.
Date this child after grape.
Why should that child be forced to die when it didn't when it
That
was
was
Okay,
fucking
okay,
not-
wait. So Frank, you think that if the child's gonna die in birth, then they should abort it or no? Oh wait, he's not gonna answer me. Wow. Hey, look, but guys, this is a grown man doing these little child games with me, bro. Like, can we please
Listen.
get a life, Frank? Do you not have a job or something you could be at?
Wait, listen. Like maybe Liam can talk to him. Like maybe he might respond to
Yes,
him.
yes.
Maybe he might actually conversate, or if Liam wants to.
Yeah, Liam, do you want to?
Also, Frank, get your points up, buddy.
What's up, Frank? Hey, man. I mean, I wasn't here for the radio.
right.
So Frank is just not engaging with any men.
Okay, wait, no, he's just not engaging with you two. So,
No, he ignored divinity too. He's just scared to talk to men about the subject.
okay, before we get Frank, are you willing to engage with Liam
That's me, by the way.
with divinity?
if he's willing to debate in a good faith argument, then I have
Okay,
no problem with it.
perfect.
If he's an asshole like these two, then no, I do not wish to engage with him.
Perfect. So
You
we're
always
gonna.
catch strays. You said we're sitting here quietly. We're just catching strays. But it's a problem when we say anything though.
All right, so we're gonna have a good faith 1v1. That's gonna mean that everybody else is muted. Liam's gonna engage with Frank, and Frank is gonna engage with Liam. Run it.
Frank, do you think abortion's wrong?
Do what? I
Do
can't
you
hear
think
you.
abortion is wrong?
Is he coming through for anybody else?
Yeah. Do you think abortion is wrong?
Yes.
Here, bro.
Do I think? I'm assuming you said. Do I think abortion is wrong?
Yeah.
Yes,
Why?
because it is actively taking the life of a child.
By child, do you mean like a person, or by child, do you just mean like, what do you think a child is?
As far as a child as a human, it's a human.
Do you think that non-people can be child?
What is a non-person?
Something that's not a person.
What do you? I don't understand the question.
Do you think that things that aren't people can be children?
What do you like? Are you talking about like a dog?
Yeah, that can be an example, or like a tree.
A tree is not the same thing as a mammal,
Yeah, I know it's a tree.
right? So I've already heard the tree argument, and it does not sustain.
What do you mean the
If
tree?
you're talking about
argument?
mammals, then I think they are adolescents, or we call them by different things. But essentially, yes, I think they are a form of child because they are a mammal.
I don't know what you mean by the tree argument, but do you think that non-people can be children?
If you were talking about other mammals, then they are a form of child, yes. But we are discussing humans right now.
Okay, so a child is just any offspring of an organism.
Of a mammal or anything that's, yes. A fish, a mammal, an avian, etc., etc. Yes.
Uh-huh. Do you think it's wrong to kill dogs?
Yes.
Think it's wrong for people to, cause their dogs to miscarry?
How does a person make an animal dog? Yes.
Okay, it's because it's their child.
Because it is a child, yes.
What about it being a child makes it wrong?
The innocence of it.
What do you mean by innocence?
I didn't know innocence needed to be described. Explained. If you need me to explain it for you.
I want a definition of innocence.
The definitions of innocence is the newly formed life that hasn't experienced anything, that has no guilt or no non-guilt, etc., etc.
Something
They
that
haven't experienced anything. They are a blank sheet.
It's not no non-guilt, right? Like being innocent is not just being not guilty. Being innocent is being capable of being guilty and not being guilty.
Same thing.
No, it's not the same thing because trees aren't guilty, but they're not innocent.
Trees aren't part of the conversation because they're not a sentient being. They're not life like we are.
Yeah, well, there you go, right? So, I mean, zygotes aren't sentient beings either, Frank.
Yes, they are.
They're sentient?
A tree does not. Okay, you want to argue that? Fine. We'll go with your argument on that. A zygote has the ability, if it is left alone to its own devices inside the womb, when it comes out, it has the ability to be sentient. Whereas tree sapling, at no point will a tree sapling to grow up to be
all right, you're
a
not
tree bear.
co-servants. All right, dude, I know you're excited. Just calm down.
I'm not excited.
You sound excited. So we agree that zygotes aren't sentient, right?
No, we don't. We don't agree with that.
You think that they are sentient?
Yes,
Zygotes are sentient.
it's a baby.
Okay,
You want to call it a zygote or not? It does not matter.
Zygote's
Once
a stage
once
of
the egg
embryonic
is fertilized, it is a human being, and it has sentience. It has the ability for sentience. It is sentient.
Well, hold on, Frank. Just hold on. So, zygote, by the way, is not like a dehumanizing term. It's just a stage of development. You think zygotes literally are sentient?
Yes,
What makes you think that?
because they have brain function.
Zygotes have brains?
I didn't say. Are you serious?
It would follow from what you just said.
What month does the baby develop a brain? 8 weeks. 8 weeks.
Develops a brain, or it begins developing a brain?
The brain is developed by between ages 8 weeks and 10 weeks. That is when a brain is developed.
Brain
inside
is
of
developed?
the baby inside of the womb.
What parts of the brain do you think are developed in that period of time?
The frontal lobe and the cortex.
The prefrontal cortex is developed in the 8th to 10th week. I just want you to know you said something so insanely false, but is that what your view is?
That's not insanely false.
I just want to clarify, that's your view, right? The prefrontal cortex is developed by the 8th week. That's your view, Frank? I get a yes or no to that.
I'm fairly certain I've answered that question 3 times.
That you remained silent the 3 times I just asked you. So yes, it is the case that
I did repeatedly, and you just kept asking, so I stopped
I'm
answering.
just trying to clarify so you don't
the same
obfuscate.
question.
Just Frank.
I won't answer a question 3 different times.
You never gave me a yes or no answer.
I absolutely did.
You said yes?
You started the line of questioning based off of my answer of saying yes.
Right?
This is what I said.
Right.
I said between 8 and 10 weeks. That is my initial answer.
So a zygote, I also want to clarify, a zygote is not an embryo. So I want you to understand that zygotes aren't sentient, right?
That's your opinion. I disagree.
Zygotes are Zygotes are the single-celled, like, moment of conception.
Okay, let's go with your argument here. Regardless of if it is sentient or not, does it have the ability for sentience?
Is it potentially sentient? Yeah, that's true.
Right. So therefore, it is sentient. It doesn't matter if it's sentient right now or not. If it has the ability to one day become sentient, it is a sentient being.
Okay, hold on. Frank, are you cold right now? You're potentially cold, right? That doesn't mean you're cold.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you're not. Just because you're potentially something doesn't make you something. You just equivocated potentials and actuals.
That's not this. No, you're trying to use a false argument there. That's not the same
What was
argument
the
at
false
all.
argument? That's a comparison.
No, it is not.
That's
Because
not a comparison?
because eventually, if it turns into winter, I will become
analogy?
cold. If I am left to my own, if the weather is left to its own devices here, the weather will turn cold.
No, but you
and
aren't
I will
cold.
become cold.
That's the point. You're potentially cold. You're not actually cold, so you're not
That's
cold.
not how that works. It's not potentially cold or not. If the weather changes, if it is left to its own devices, the weather will change
Right,
and it
so
will
you're
become
potentially
cold.
cold. Yeah.
That's not the same
That's what it
argument.
means to say something's potentially. Yes, it is, Frank. What are you talking
No,
about?
it isn't.
So right now
Saying
you're not
you are
cold.
you are arguing temperatures to sentience. It's not the same argument. It is a false argument, and you know it.
It's not false. It's you're equivocating potentials and actuals.
Yes, I am, but
That's
not
a
in the
fallacy.
same. But not in that regard, because that is not the same
Just
equivalence.
look up. Okay. I understand that. When you concede to equivocating, I want you to know that's a fallacy called false equivalence. You know that?
And you comparing a person to a tree is also a false equivalence.
What's the false equivalence?
At no point will a tree ever have a sentience or breathe
not
or
required.
anything in that sense.
Yeah, I didn't equivocate trees being sentient. Lock in. You made a false equivalence because you just said that potentials were actuals. Potentials aren't actual.
No.
I didn't say trees were
I
people.
said sentience. I did not say all. I said sentience.
Yeah,
If a
potential
human being,
thing.
if a baby in the stomach is left to its own devices and able to come through fruition, it will become sentient.
That's
A tree will
potential
never
sentient.
achieve sentience, no matter how long you leave it.
I agree. That's right. That's why fetuses are potentially sentient, not actually sentient.
Which makes them sentient.
Are you cold right now?
A tree, that's not the same argument. See, now you're just being circular. That's not the same argument at all.
It's not circularity. You're just not getting the point.
No, I am understanding your point, and
Not
but your
understanding the
point
point.
is circular.
You just told me that you're equivocating terms and then conceded to being fallacious. And when I explained it to you, you're like, no, actually. Like you're equivocating something potentially being some way and actually being that way. Just because something's potentially sentient doesn't make it actually sentient. So, like, for example, that fetuses could, like, potentially grow up and have sex with men. That doesn't mean the fetus is actually having sex with men. Similarly, fetuses can potentially grow up and become sentient. Anyway, kind of on your own grounds, fetuses aren't innocent. So, because they're not sentient beings. They become sentient beings by developing. They develop into sentient beings.
Right. And nobody's running. I'm doing other things. I have a life outside of this. I'm answering questions outside of this. If you want me to answer in a second, I will answer in a second. But I'm doing something currently.
You need like a timeout or something?
If that's what you want to call it, sure. I've got something to do right now. And if you want about 2 minutes.
Hey, so I'm hearing that Frank just got dunked on. Now he's leaving.
So, ladies, what do we think?
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying I have to do something
Wait,
time
Frank.
sensitive at the moment.
To clarify
Frank.
Frank, before you go, spell equivocally, bro.
To clarify for the person in chat, innocence is not the same thing as being not guilty. Like, for example, trees, or is a better idea, fire hydrants are not guilty. Now, fire hydrants are not guilty because fire hydrants do not have the capacity to be guilty. They don't have the capacity to make choices or to intend wrong, right? They don't have emotions. There's no intention. So they're not guilty because they don't have the capability of being guilty. But me, right? I'm not guilty because I choose not to do bad things. I have intentions that are good. So because I am capable of making bad decisions and I don't make bad decisions, I'm innocent. That's what the concept of innocence means. Someone's innocent if they're not guilty and they're capable of being guilty.
Bro, Winston, get in the live, bro. You're talking real crazy.
Hey, Divinity, I'm going to follow you for a second because apparently I got to leave the live to do this. So I don't want you to think I'm running. I'll be right back.
Frank is not coming back, bro. Frank is not coming back. Hey, Frank, I'm gonna catch you, bro.
Bro, Liam, you missed the whole. You hold on. You missed the
Wait.
whole argument we had.
Wait, Beru, were you in that other live I was in like a few minutes ago? My brother. I swear I seen this nigga before.
Yay, you cannot
Oh,
say
yeah.
that.
Wait, I can't say.
Pretty interesting how we had extra qualifiers on the innocent. Are fire hydrant innocent? Like what you're
What the
fucking.
fuck?
This moron.
What the fuck?
Help.
That's crazy. No, you missed the whole argument that we had before you and Frank started arguing. It was insane.
Is he a moron?
No, he was saying that we should make P3DOs more comfortable to come forward about their thoughts.
Oh. It's not even Loki. That's not even crazy, but like he probably didn't argue for it in like a correct way.
No, he didn't argue it well. I'd say that they need help, psychological help, sure.
Yeah.
I didn't say that they didn't, but I was like, oh, that's not how we. And then he was like, I want to protect